So now I'm going to continue on from here. Yes, Cisco. So I'm going to continue down from here. Ooh, I'm going to go in here, there. Oh, almost made it. And I'm going to go here. All right. So each tail fringe that you're going to do, okay, is going to be done exactly in the same way, basically. So I'll show you the first one, possibly the second one, okay? And so what you're going to do is that you're going to take a certain number of beads. You decide how long the beads are. You decide what the pattern is going to be. Obviously, I'm going to mimic this pattern right here, okay? And again, you can decide, like when I put these earrings on, this one dangles. It does touch my shoulder a little bit, right? So it's like, you know, maybe in future I'll shorten everything up by maybe 1 or 2 beads or something like that, okay? So in this case here, the first one is going to ask me to take 5 of the cranberry, all right, 5 of the cream, all right, and again, I don't have to keep it on the needle, okay, so I'm just going to move them off the needle a little bit, give me some space. I'm going to take 5 of the fuchsia, and then I'm going to end off with an accent color, which is my original here, okay? There we go. Okay, so they're fairly close in color, but it's just a little bit of an accent, okay? All right. Okay, so that's that there. Now, in order to be able to secure this, I can't go right back up through here because obviously it would detach all my beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure this guy here. So I'm going to skip this guy and I'm going to go back up through here, okay? And then I'm going to go through all those beads plus the first one in this original row, okay? So let's try that. So I'm going to hold this. And you may not get them all done in one shot, so it's not the end of the world if you have to go back and... Okay, so I'm going to just do it in two goes here. Okay. So there. Alright. Okay. Now, as you can see, obviously it's far away. I'll show you how to deal with that in a sec. Let's just go through here. Let's go through the first one. Back in that original row. Okay. All right. So what you want to do, basically, is that I usually hold on the very last one, all right, to pull them all, okay? If I hold on to this little one, basically you can pull it all tight so that it's nice and it's not loose, okay? Now, to start the next fringe, okay, so if you saw, I went in through the first one on the ladder line, on the ladder stitch row here. I'm going to come through the next one going down. Okay, so let's do that. There we go. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to load up my next set. So my next set will basically be 6, 6, 6, and then the last accent one. Okay. Now you'll notice that when I start my fringe, okay, so the fringe, basically whatever the color is in that first ladder row is going to match the first color. So this next one will start with cranberry, this next one will start with white, you know, fuchsia, and so on going downwards, okay? And the amounts will vary. And again, that's up to you. I'm just using whatever I was given in the class. So again, I'm going to separate. I'm going to skip the first one. I'm going to go back through all of these. Okay. And again, your needle may not be long enough to be able to do that. I tend to hold it down on both ends there, makes life a lot simpler. Okay. All right. Okay. And then, so I want to be able to pull this as close as possible. So I'm going to hold on to the last bead. Okay, there. So now I'm going to go up through that last bead that was in that first row. And then I'm going to come down on the one beside it. Okay? And then the next one basically will be 777 plus the accent at the end. Okay, so I'm going to come back once I've done that. Okay, so this one was the 777 with the anchor, okay, the accent color. This one here was, because it started with white, I started with white, so we didn't start with the cranberry. You had 16 of the second color, your B color. You had 8 of the fuchsia with the accent at the end. The next one, okay, will be basically, again, starting with white, so this time I'm going to have 18 of the white. I'm going to have 9 of the fuchsia and then 1 of the accent color, okay? Okay, so I did the, what was it, the 18 of the white, 9 of the fuchsia, then I did 30 of the fuchsia, and obviously with the 1 accent color. And then literally going back this way, I'm going to literally go and do exactly what I did before. So I'm going to do, you know, your 18, 9, and the accent. This one was 16, what was it, 16, 8 with the accent, 777 accent, 666 accent, 555 accent, going all the way this way. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back because then I got to show you basically, and then then what I'm going to do is when it's done, I'm going to pass when I go through the last fringe at the end and I go back up, I'm going to go through a bunch of beads here, and then I'm going to make a little knot on the end there, just, you know, to tie it off there. And then basically I'm going to weave it through so that I can't see it. And then I'm going to show you how to put on the earring, okay? Okay, so as you can see, basically I've done 1 earring here, okay? So ideally you can do both earrings and then put on the clasp. When you look at this clasp here, okay, it is basically a loop, all right? So what you want to do is you want to open up the loop. We're going to insert it inside the hole there and close it up. So I just happen to have a set of pliers here, okay, that I'm just going to hold this, okay, oh, there we go, okay. And then what I want to do is I want to be able to open up, I'm not sure, maybe these are not the best pliers to hold, maybe I will hold it with my hand, okay. So what I want basically is I want to be able to open this up just enough. So I'm just going to kind of twist it, pull it forward enough. Let's see here, hold on. No, hold on here. I think it's moving with my hand here. Let's see. There we go. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to let it in, but we'll see. Okay. And is it going to be enough? No, it's not enough. So I need to. Okay. And you can see I am not an expert with jewelry, to be perfectly honest. Hold on here. Okay. Now, my understanding, hold on, let's see if this will actually fit through here. Fit through? Yes, it does. Okay. So what you want to do, you can see I've got a crack here, so obviously I don't want that to allow that to fall out. Usually what you would end up doing is you would be pushing it, and I think it's because my hand is not holding it steady enough. You would be pushing it either forward or back, put it inside the loop, and then when you bring it back, you don't bring it back to exactly where it is, you're actually going to bring it back. So let's say I had brought it forward, I would bring it back past that middle point just a little bit, then bring it back exactly to where it was. Okay, so again, I don't think I really did that very well. Okay, and I have a funny feeling I'm going to have to put that up. Oh, there we go. I didn't open it very well, so clearly it didn't close very well. Now is it going to be crooked? Yeah, it's crooked. Okay, so let me take this whole thing here and see if I can actually straighten it out. There we go. Does it go? Does it look somewhat? Okay, so if I have it on the back like that, there we go. Okay, so there's the earring there. Okay, and then you do the exact same thing with the other one. Now, obviously, the patterns, you can change up the patterns any which way you want, but basically that's an example of how to do a brick stitched fringe earring. So I hope that helps, and have yourself a great day.